Greetings and welcome to another Art Wellness YouTube tutorial video. As you saw from the title of the video, we're going to be making clay hearts and engaging in a heart meditation today. This is a great activity to do with kids, especially in the times we're living in right now when emotions can be a little conflicting or high or even confusing. This is a great way to talk about those and express them. So this video is not very intense, it's not very long, but it's great for kids. So that is why I have Play-Doh, I have air dry clay. One thing about the clay that's great is it's white, so I can paint it. Once it dries, I can color it with marker. One thing I don't have on hand, but I highly recommend, is Model Magic. Crayola makes it, and it's like air dry clay, but not as heavy. And that can also dry and it can be colored or painted. If you're not wanting to make as much of a mess, Play-Doh is a great option. If you don't have these on hand, you can probably find a video to make slime. It's a very popular thing with kids now. The only thing about slime is it will not hold its shape in the same way that clay or Play-Doh will. But as I say about all art that is done in a therapeutic way, what matters is the process, not the end product. So just be prepared in this video with whatever you have on hand, and let's get ready to enjoy the process. Before going any further, I am going to lay down a little plastic placemat to protect the space, since clay can get a little messy or sticky. If you're using slime, I definitely suggest putting something down. And in this video, since we are trying to be calm and meditative and think about our heart and our emotions, we don't want to get too much clay because that could be overwhelming. Just enough to fit in your hand so that your fingers can wrap around it. And if you've never used clay before, something I want to make you aware of is that it can be very hard or heavy. So the first thing you're going to want to do is spend some time just moving it around in your hand. The warmth will soften it up. This is also a great way to release some energy or tension. It's great for the kids to get some energy out, and it doesn't involve them running around the house. So have fun with this part. Now as this video continues, you'll see me mold the clay into the shape of a heart. The goal for this video is to incorporate what you are doing and making with your hands with the emotions that you're feeling right now, and trying to be more in tune with your body and your emotions and your heart, and finding a way to express that. So the reason we chose the heart is to convey emotions. So one reason this activity is so great for kids is because it will help them be able to check in with you and express some of those complicated emotions without having to use words, which can be a difficult task for young ones. So a heart is used to relate to the kids, but also because it's a recognizable shape. A lot of times for adults, they might overthink art, especially if they don't feel qualified. So I suggest just making a heart, because we all know what a heart looks like. It's something simple enough for everybody to do, but you can also add your own unique elements to the heart to make it your own and still express how you're doing. Now one thing that is great about the Play-Doh options is that they come in various colors, and as we talk about emotions, that is an easy way to express specific ones. You could sit down and define each color as an emotion, and that might be easier for the kids as they're expressing themselves. The instructions for this activity aren't complicated. You're going to make a heart out of clay or Play-Doh, and you're going to want to shape it or reshape the heart each time your feelings change. And if you find that you or your child has repetitive feelings, maybe prompt them to choose what color best represents that feeling. Take this as an opportunity to really get to talk about emotions while isolating each one and defining it for what it is and how you experience it and what it might look like, feel like, or what color it would be. This is a great activity for checking in with your kids or even yourself throughout the day. You might start the day by creating a heart, and then say you want to check in 3 times a day. You would just meet and reshape your heart, or perhaps keep it the same, and just take that time to talk about how you're feeling and how you're doing. And please make sure you do this with yourself, not just your kids, just so you can check in with yourself and see how you're doing and how you're taking care of yourself. If you do this with clay throughout the day, you can keep it in an airtight container and it won't dry out. And Play-Doh should be able to be used throughout the day. You could probably still leave it out. Just as long as you return it back to its container at the end of the day, it will still be usable. Now that I've explained all the adaptations and the ways that you can use this activity, I'm going to lead in a breathing exercise. Feel free to revisit this part of the video anytime you make your heart or if you're adjusting a heart, so that you can get in tune with how your body's feeling and practice some slow breaths and get in tune with your heart. We begin sitting comfortably. Quietly take a few deep breaths. Place your hand on your heart and close your eyes. Take 5 deep breaths and focus on how your heart is feeling right now. Sad, happy, scared, silly? Now, place your hand on your heart and think of your heart being filled with gratefulness or something we are thankful for. Pause, and now, place your hand on your heart and think of it being filled with joy, then love, empathy. Notice how your body feels. Notice how your heart feels. Does it feel the same or different from when we started? Prepare to listen to your heart and be with it in the moment, and breathe as you finish.